It is the late days of 1781, and you are a rich British-American settler living in New York City, a safe haven for British loyalists. Certainly, ever since the Declaration of Independence by the 13 colonies in mid-1776, you have arduously supported the British Crown led by His Majesty, King George III, against what you think are pesky, ungrateful rebels led by a certain general named Washington. But now, the tides of war are turning, as you hear of the disastrous British defeat in Yorktown. You are forced to make a difficult choice. Do you leave the land you once called home, or stay and risk persecution from the Continental Army, knowing that you have always been a vocal supporter of the hated King George? This is it, you say to yourself, as you pack your belongings and head to port, not willing to risk an uncertain fate. But leaving was not always this easy for other loyalists, such as other less fortunate white, native, and black loyalists who faced certain re-enslavement as promised by American patriots shall they be recaptured. This is the historiographer, and in this video we will explore the fate of thousands of pro-British white, black, and native peoples. In layman terms, a loyalist was anyone who directly or indirectly supported the British Empire in the American War of Independence. These included white settlers, black slaves, and Native American peoples. In total, according to latest research, the loyalists who fled comprised a figure amounting to between 80,000 and 100,000 people of various ethnicities. Starting with loyalists with the least tragic fate, those of European descent, it must be said that the vast majority of them migrated to British-controlled North America during and after the war. Others returned to Britain, while some tried their luck in Florida and in the Caribbean. The main waves of white loyalists came to what is now Canada in 1783 and 84, though some came before that, amounting to nearly 50,000 white loyalists as per expert historian Maya Jasanoff. During migration, disease was a major cause of death, mainly due to the hastily erected refugee camps in British North America. Various slave owners and landowners were forced to leave their land behind. However, these were later eligible for compensation in the form of free land given to them all throughout modern-day Eastern Canada. Most white loyalists arrived in the territory that became the maritime provinces of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island, becoming home to more than 30,000 loyalists, while 3,000 more moved to Lower Canada. Crucially, about 8,000 moved into Upper Canada, a province created in 1791, hence laying the foundations for the modern-day province of Ontario, from which would spring up the nation of Canada in 1867. Indeed, these loyalists would form the United Empire Loyalists, which was a Canadian organization firmly loyal to the Crown and instrumental in the development of the modern Canadian identity. As for the cultural impact of the nearly 7,000 loyalists returning to Britain, it was overall minimal. Yet, many of the other 6,000 loyalists who went to the Caribbean infamously became slave landowners and settled in the Bahamas, Jamaica, and even British Honduras. Perhaps the most unlucky loyalists were those of black descent, and their destiny is predominantly split into 5 paths. About 3,000 pro-British blacks went to Canada, mostly settling in the maritime provinces. Some were granted land, especially in Nova Scotia. However, others were not so fortunate as they faced racism and inequality. As such, about 1,200 went to the free colony of Sierra Leone, founding a new life there. Nearly 5,000 black loyalists sailed to Britain, especially to the city of London. As always, however, they faced racism, ultimately forcing the vast majority of them to rejoin their black Canadian brothers in Sierra Leone. The less fortunate, about 14,000 of them, were recaptured by the Patriots. These were declared as war property, where they were sold off once again into slavery to help pay the young nation's debts. Finally, and the route which is most fascinating, some black loyalists continued to fight as renegades in southern Georgia, as well as, crucially, in Florida. In Florida, These black men joined the Native American nations of the Creeks and Seminoles, ultimately becoming a major source of headache for the United States, especially during the Creek and Seminole Wars that the US endured in the 1840s. Many native loyalists, such as the Iroquois, were subjected to tremendous misery after George Washington's campaign against them, where over 40 villages and winter crops were burned. As a result, 5,000 Native Americans resettled to Canada. This has been a brief video on the fate of the Loyalists. As always, subscribing to this channel is the best way to join us in our mission of spreading history to the masses. This has been the Historiographer, and for now, see you in the next video.